Welcome in YouTube. It's Juicy. We're going again, going over season 12, uh, room rules and what I'm running for week one. At least for the first thing, maybe I'm gonna shuffle things around as a disclaimer. We still got a couple days, but after I've thought about it a lot, here's what I'm currently going to be running and what I'm thinking, and then there may be some shuffling, and I'm gonna give some advice on that, on what to do in different spots if you don't have X person unlocked. So for number one, we have just gonna go over the room rules first, right quick. So room one, we have it where raiders and skirmishers do 200% extra damage when they're below 50% health. Everyone's talking about endgame Thanos. There's a couple other tunes that are just as dangerous like that, but that is definitely the first one that comes to mind because the raise passive triggers is when he drops below 50%. So that's automatically going to be that hit, and it forces the APOC punch into him on the defense. That's not a surprise at all that this would end up being this particular team. And so we got Kahori, Super Scroll, and your three Annihilators. And then biggest thing is you want to make sure that they're all Raiders, or Skirmishers. The only one I would keep Fortifier or consider keeping Fortifier or Healer would be your um, Gladiator, right? Because he's your tank. He doesn't do a whole lot of damage anyway. So he's just fine being that either that fortifier or that healer tag. If you want to make him a skirmisher, that's great. But the ones that really pop off in this room would be Super Scroll. Gore is actually super dangerous in this room. I don't think Miss Marvel Classic is gonna fill in a void here. I think that if you're gonna run Miss Marvel Classic with Kahori, you're gonna put him on an absolute event. It's just not in war. She just doesn't do enough to merit being on this team, especially what this team particularly requires to be countered with. There's only a few things that can counter, especially with Kahoris and the multiple diamonds. You're pretty much stuck using the team I showcased last week, which is Black Knight, um, followed by APOC, or followed by sorry, Black Knight, Old Man Logan, APOC, Dakin. Um, that's a lot if you think about it, for room one, and so that definitely forces a great counter. And so I'd recommend that this would be on defense. If you don't have Kohori, that's just fine. Just put in Ultimus, put in another time. Yeah, so you can still put an Ultimus. You can put Silver Surfer. You can put Dorm. Here, Dorm and this the fifth is really good because of those exposes can generate energy. Dorm can ult early. Super Scroll with an extra life in case the APOC doesn't get that punch in could cause some problems. So I think that that's great alternative uses for that in room one, because you have with that Dorm in there, it gives that extra explosivity. So if you don't have Kahori because you didn't spend on her or get lucky with RNG orbs, definitely think about using either the OG Annihilators um, in that spot or your Dorm. Okay. Next room is kind of a unique room. So when they use their ults, you're definitely going to get an energy. So um, things you want to think about. This is where you want to put your long-lasting fights. So either you're using your Dorm, you're using your Mephisto here, your Illuminati is okay. I don't think it changes a lot of their matchups, so I'm not going to run them here. But there's a decent argument for them to be here. I'm going to run Extreme with Dorm, or with Dorm, not Nightcrawler. I'm going to keep Nightcrawler on offense for the first couple days. He pairs really well with Old Man Logan. He pairs really well with a couple other tunes to counter a few things, and so I think that this is just a good spot to put him. It messes up a few counters with the Gambit getting energy if they ult. Gambit can ult into, like, let's say they're using the Weaver Tango combo or the Tangled Kang combo. If they are not careful on their energy spendage, Gambit can open up with his ult and kill them, and that would be a big deal because then that would give you the advantage and hopefully get the kill. Um, so that is a warning. And then you got the Dorm there to keep you alive. The next room, when positive effects are applied, it extends them. So this one's crazy. This one is the one that kind of causes timeouts. Thing is that this usually helps the offense a little better than defense. You don't have that Dorm forever thing, or I watch is too slow nowadays in the meta to really take advantage of or to cheat that out. So what you're gonna really probably run, I'm just gonna go ahead and use Illuminati Odin. Is to keep in mind that I think that there's 2 through 5. There's a lot of arguments on where each one can go. You can easily put Spider, Mephisto here. You can easily put Orcus Cable here, you can easily put a few teams in this spot that will fit just fine in here. I decided on this team just because I wanted to see what it pulls. Again, if you're my opponent, you already know how to deal with this. You're going to definitely have their own Odin. You're going to have Nightcrawler. Then you're going to use the 3 Superior 6. You're going to stun the Shuri, and then you're going to go ahead and clear this up. As you're seeing, a lot of this stuff is stuff that we've seen before. There's just the reality with this defense this season is that they made these. It feels, in my opinion, I don't know. Actually, they've actually told us. But my opinion is in looking at these rooms is that they designed these rooms so that the next team will not struggle against any of the old meta. Anything that the new team they want to sell you, they designed these rooms to be so weak, so insignificant on the counter sheet, or not really changing how you've been countering these things already, that they're just gonna run roughshod over the other teams. Again, look out for videos on that. If I don't get this out in time, I think they're going to be coming out pretty similar in the same time frame, so keep that in mind. But just looking at what I've glanced at for the team, haven't really looked at their kits yet. Just because I don't want to make this video based off what a team that's coming out in a few weeks, right? Because we still need Absolute A-Force to come out. So I'm just bringing that up there because people are wondering why the rooms are rules are so weak. I think that's partly is just they want to make sure that the team does really well, and that they also want to make sure that that this is the winter break, and that if they're going into winter break, that these rooms are very easy to fix because they're not a very complicated rooms. Very easy to, if they find a bug, they have a couple of days to get that stuff fixed, sorted out before they go on their vacation for Christmas break. Because they want to spend time with their families, things like that. So keep that in mind with these rooms. So you're going to see a lot of things from last season. I mean, one of the best things advice I could give you is that, honestly, whatever you already had last season, take it, shift it around. You'll be just fine. Just find the spot that you think is best for these teams, and then that. So that's kind of how I did this, right? A lot of this was I already had this on defense, just shifting it around, right? I already had 2 in room 5, and now I've just moved it over to room 2. What I had, I had this room 3 and room 4 last season. I think, oh no, I had it in room 2, but it's the same thing, right? I just shuffled it over to 3. And again, I could still shuffle these. That'd be my recommendation, just to think about these, shuffle them around a little bit more. So this next room is skill and tech. So this is unfortunate that they changed this to skill and not to bio, because when it was bio and tech, you had this ability to use the new Absolute A-Force, and then you also had the ability to use Super Scroll. Super Scroll basics a lot, so that would have gotten that speed up off of amazing air, whatever, Absolute A-Force. They have big stats, so they could have taken use of this. Skill and tech, you're really gonna struggle to think about how to find a team that basics late enough in the day, right? Spider Society is a great example. If Spider Society is getting to their basics, you probably already lost anyway. So this is like a rough shot, because that means that they've probably gotten 3 turns around, so they're probably healing, they're probably getting back to it. Main way to kill Spider Society is to just hit them really hard at the start and then just kill them, right? Because once Peter B starts healing them and cleansing them every turn, it's basically impossible to get them down. So in this room, I have Orcus with Cable. I don't think this team will last very long on defense, but I think it is a good defense. Keep LES just for different comps that I'm going to be running on offense. But this team is great. Cable's great. This is mainly that I know that this is going to pull Night Stalkers, and I'm okay with that. I think Night Stalkers is going to just run over this team, and I just don't want Night Stalkers running over my other teams. Just like the fact that I know that in room 3, towards the end of the season, I was seeing a lot of people just Night Stalkering after double sacking room 3. They'd come up with Night Stalkers to kill it, because if you have diamonds on Blade and Oath and Man Thing, you're able to tank the opener, and then the Night Stalkers just roll them with the above stats. And so you're going to see a lot of that, unfortunately. So I was debating on putting Orcus Mephisto, and I may actually still put Orcus Mephisto in this spot instead of Cable. That just really forces just the Odin team to come in here, and they already have Odin needed in another room, so it really taxes them. So I'm not against that. I think that's a great idea. Then this right here, but this definitely does lower some of the other counters that are available to you. So I really am trying to force Night Stalkers here, because I know the Night Stalkers is probably going to beat this team. Um, and hopefully that pulls something else. All right. This room on city characters on dodge, getting offense up, successful hit, getting defense up. So I'm more about thinking about the defense up than the offense up. The offense up will happen so few times because of the way that Spider Society works, right? So, oh god. All right, so like, Spider Society is a great team, but they don't dodge a lot. You think they dodge a lot because Gwen dodges a lot, but Gwen is actually probably the least useful. Preton's better here. A bunch of other things. Guardian's good here. Black Knight would have been really good here. I'm keeping Black Knight on offense because I fight at a high enough level with the Gohoris or Diamonds, and you need Black Knight to really counter her. I saw my last video, and as I saw talked about in number one, I just have to have Black Knight on offense, but I think Black Knight would probably be better tuned to put in here than number 5. Not because I wouldn't be really about Superior 6 coming in here and destroying this team, because they need Superior 6 for the Illuminati team. And then again, we have plenty of offense. This room 6 is kind of a weird one. Unfortunately, these are both tied to hero symbiote characters, so you're not going to get a lot of value out of this team. What it does allow you to do is that it gives the Cabal team an extra tool. So if you put anything great in here that Cabal was already going to, let's say they wanted Cabal on Kang, you can take Kang off of that team and probably just put Void Knight and Emma, and you'd get that early crit that you needed just fast enough to get ahead of certain teams. So keep that in mind. What you put in here is that if it's a Cabal, something that already draws Cabal, you made Cabal a little cheaper. And so I'm thinking of throwing in Astral with Mephisto. Um, this team is just annoying to deal with. They do a lot of damage. Have new character stats. I could change this again. I was really debating between switching that Cable spot and the Mephisto, right? So putting something else like a Preton at room 6 and then putting in Mephisto in Orcus, and I may change that after round 1 or after even over the weekend. But this is just an example of what a top 100 defense would look like. Because this is what I get. This is a decent amount. Again, I may move one character around, one character here, but this is probably what I'm running on defense. This is probably what you're regularly going to see in the top 100 of a defense, right? Bunch of stuff on bunch of turtley stuff. This is how the top 100 rolls. And then again, best of luck in y'all's first round. Be sure to check out counters. I think I tried to help with that. And then if you have any questions, make sure to send that in a comment. If you're wondering how to counter a certain team, feel free to put that in the comments, and I'm happy to help you. Feel free to reach out on DM and or on a Discord. And anyway, best of luck in y'all's round 1, and best of luck if you have any other ideas for defenses. Let me know in the comments below. Later, y'all. Quick edit for the end. Just wanted to show the where I would put certain teams if I was to be running Orcus Mephisto on defense. Again, not gonna go over everything, just literally gonna scroll through here and help you with some ideas. Right, I would put a Preton with the Astral team. Probably still keep the Preton in room 5, and then I would put Orcus Mephisto probably in room 3 because you want the double stack of all the stuff that Mephisto puts out at the start. Right, you're gonna put that on forever. Definitely gonna force a double stack, and it really panders them to try to one-shot this. So keep that in mind. Mephisto is a great tune to put in room 3, depending on what you're gonna throw in there. So that is an example of what I would do. Kid, just going over it. Later, y'all.